Texas politics just hit another boiling point. Arrest warrants, secret hideouts, and Democrats' loudest voice, Jasmine Crockett, front and center. But this isn't about just Texas. This is about a political playbook being used across America to tilt the scale before you ever step into the voting booth. And the media, they're treating it like a strategy instead of what it is. Sabotage the democracy, right?
And so I want people to see him and understand who he is. This is a person that has a problem with people of color, period. I don't care how many black MAGA out there with their hats. I want to be clear, when we look at who it is that he's kicking out of this country as people of color, when we look at who he always disrespects and says that they are low IQ, even though when you look at his cabinet, this has to be the most incompetent cabinet we have ever had in the history of this country. When we're talking about people that literally have the ability to drop bombs or order that bombs be dropped or make recommendations that bombs be dropped, and they literally don't know how to get the signal chat right. So we're talking about low IQ individuals, but so long as they say that this guy is their guy, and usually if they work for a certain news network, that's the only qualification that's necessary. I've got news for the president. I am not going anywhere. No matter how many squiggly lines they draw in the state of Texas, I will be back and I will be on his behind and making sure the real accountability that the American people are demanding, whether they're Democrats, Republicans, or independents, that it is had when the Democrats take control of this House in the midterms.
Congressman.
You're not convincing anybody trying to use the term low IQ. We're not stupid. We see y'all do this all the time. Democrats have been called low IQ for so long, and now they do this thing where they try to flip. It doesn't work. When Jasmine Crockett says she doesn't care how many black Americans wear a MAGA hat, she's telling you the quiet part out loud. To her, you're only black if you vote Democrat. This is the same mindset that kept generations in political chains. And she'll call Trump a racist while spitting the most condescending rhetoric towards black conservatives I've ever heard. Here's the uncomfortable truth, though. The modern left doesn't want diversity of thought. They want ownership of it. This is what it is. And the second you step off of that plantation, they come for you and your identity. And while she's busy playing racial gatekeeper, if you will, her colleagues are playing hide and seek, but with the law.
I'm State Representative Gina Hinojosa, and yesterday Texas Republicans issued an arrest warrant for myself and my colleagues, and today still there was no quorum on the floor of the House. I am so proud of my colleagues. I'm so proud of Texans, and I'm so proud to be a part of this effort. I get asked all the time, what does tomorrow look like? What does the next day look like? Here's what I know. We fight to win today. Tomorrow is a new day. We assess and we take action. I'm reminded of a quote by former Governor Ann Richards. She said this: the here and now is all we have, and if we play it right, it's all we need. Thank you for your support.
Now,
I'm State Representative Gina Hinojosa. And
Gina Hinojosa says she's proud to defy an arrest warrant. Proud, huh? Think about that. If you skipped your job, ignore orders to show up, and bragging about it, you'll be fired before you hit the parking lot. But politicians like her get applause. Because, their supporters have become trained to see defiance as bravery, even when it's cowardice dressed up as courage. And when they do give you a reason, it's always wrapped in the same word: democracy.
You know that Republicans in the state, Republicans out of the state, look at what you guys are doing and thinking you're running away from the fight. You're running away from your jobs by not being in Austin today.
Yeah, no. Abandoning your job is going to Cancun in the middle of a deadly freeze, right? Abandoning your job is cutting health care when people need access.
No, abandoning a job is not showing up when you're supposed to be there. Why are they trying to justify this and redefine and move the mark? It is so stupid.
Abandoning your job is cutting public education when we already have one of the worst education systems in the nation. What we are doing is the fundamental protection by our founding fathers in the Texas Constitution that says the minority party has the opportunity to break quorum when you know that the majority has really gone off the rails. The fact that Texas Republicans are willing to sell their soul, sell out their state, and sell out the American people to serve the interest of Donald Trump and give him 5 seats at a time where we know he is afraid of voters voting on his policies next November in 2026. When Donald Trump called Georgia Republicans and said, I just need you to find me 11,000 votes, they said, no, sir, that's a step too far. But when he called Texas Republicans and said, I need you to steal me 5 seats, they said, does July work for you? Well, it doesn't work for us as Texas Democrats. This is not just about our voters. It's about the nation. And it's important for people to know they have threatened us personally. They have threatened our arrest. They have threatened our jobs. They have threatened us. The solution is if we show up today at 3 o'clock and...
They have threatened you. Lady, we don't believe none of this BS.
The solution is if we show up today at 3 o'clock and sit and be quiet, then we get to keep ours. But it kills the voice of everybody in this country. And so we won't sit and shut up to have them shut up the voices of voters.
Oh, man. Some people are just low IQ, as Jasmine Crockett put it. Let me just be nice. And Johnson calls this a constitutional right to break quorum. But I'm going to call it what it actually is. It's refusing to face the voters. You refusing to face the voters' will because you already know you'll lose. And the irony, these are the same people who screamed for months about election denier. Y'all remember that? And protecting democracy, right? Yet, they'll burn the same democracy to the ground if it means holding on to power for one more election cycle. And if you think this kind of stunt stops at the Texas border, then you're probably just not paying attention.
Whether it's the California Equal Protection Clause or the federal Equal Protection Clause, either way, I'm quoting now from this legal opinion, the redistricting scheme cannot be sustained under either the California or United States constitutions. So there you have it. They think they've got this all figured out, that they can steal 6 Republican House seats by ramming it through their puppet legislature and getting their union allies to pay for a ballot initiative that will sail through. But they haven't reckoned with the underlying legal principle here. It is not enough for Gavin Newsom and Rob Bonta to amend Article 21 of the California Constitution in order to push through this power grab. They would need also to repeal the Equal Protection Clause of the California state constitution. Are they planning to do that? Of course not. That would never happen. And even if they were able to do that, it would fail the ultimate test in our country, the constitutional guarantees in our Constitution, the 14th Amendment at the Supreme Court.
Now, while Texas Democrats are hiding the Block 5 Republican seats, Gavin Newsom, California's Newsom, is trying to rewrite his own maps to erase 6. And he's not even hiding it. He's bragging about it. The same crowd that cries voter suppression, the 2nd Republicans redraw district calls it fair representation when they do it. The Equal Protection Clause doesn't change depending on who's in charge, but their moral compass sure does. And when they're not changing the maps, they're literally locking themselves away from people they're supposed to serve.
Hey, how you doing? I'm Gary Franchi, and I'm here for an interview with Al Green. I'm with the N3 Media. I'm a White House correspondent. I have an interview.
Interview with whom?
Representative Al Green, who's here.
Al Green?
Yeah.
What's your name?
Gary.
Jerry, and you are here
for an interview with Representative Al Green, one of the Democrats who are here right now.
Okay. Your full name is?
Gary Franchi, Next News Network.
Gary. Hold on. Yes, please, you have his name?
Al Green.
No, you said Gary Franchi.
Gary Franchi, yes. do you see Representative Green? Or Jasmine Crockett? Representative Crockett?
No, I want to see your name.
Oh, Gary Franchi. Gary, Garry FR. Yeah. Did you were you able to get a hold of the Representative Crockett or anyone?
Yeah, you please. Yeah, you can do that if you want.
Okay.
Because I'm just confirming.
Thank you.
Sorry for.
Wow.
I'm sorry, sir. You may not be able to. Allow
Oh no, the interview. No interview.
Yeah, no interview. So you may like to.
I could turn around, but did you see that Jasmine Crockett though? I'm supposed to interview.
Yeah. Okay. No. We are sorry. We will not be able to allow you to go inside.
Okay.
So you can make a U-turn.
Okay. I mean, I saw her on the list.
I know. You have a list and we know the list. But Gary Franchi,
Yes, sir.
you may not be allowed to go.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for your time. I'll turn around.
Please make a U-turn. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Well, that was that. But I did see the list in the security manifest, and yes, it is confirmed 100%. They are on site here today.
Security manifest confirmed. Jasmine Crockett and her allies. Hold up. You know, they all hauled up, I meant, in the Q Center. Away from the cameras, away from the vote, and away from accountability. These are the same folks who say showing up is half the battle, right? Showing up is just half the battle, right? Apparently that only applies when, you know, they want a photo op. That's the only time. And in between hiding, Crockett, she's on TV again insisting the house already belongs to her party. Could y'all believe this?
This is not a Texas problem. If Texas creates 5 more House of Representative seats, that's an America thing, right? That could be the distinction. That could be the difference between Republicans keeping hold of Congress in the midterm elections or not.
No, it absolutely could be. I mean, think about it this way. Right now, the Democrats should control the House, but we don't. And the only reason we don't control the House isn't because we didn't work hard, isn't because we didn't raise money, isn't because we didn't put up good candidates, but it is because North Carolina, as soon as they ended up with a Republican majority on that Supreme Court, decided to redraw the lines again. And instead of that state being 7-7, which sounds like how that state has historically been voting, instead now the congressional delegation is 10 Republicans and 4 Democrats. They took 3 seats away from us, and those 3 seats would have made the difference in having a Speaker Johnson and a Speaker Jeffries. And, well, one of those is bigger, better, and greater than the other, and I'm sure you know which one that is.
Crockett blames North Carolina gerrymandering for losing the House. But here's the hypocrisy. Democrats gerrymandered just as aggressively. They just call it protecting voting rights. You know what I'm saying? Like, if this was really about principle, they condemn it no matter who does it. But in politics, fairness is just the name they give to cheating. They give to cheating that works in their favor. And the thing about politicians like Crockett, they so over the top. They hand their critics all the ammunition that they need.
Because the Supreme Court has paved the way for half the stuff that we see that's going on. Listen, Donald Trump is a piece of shit. Okay, we know that. Yes, he is. He is. But in a functioning democracy, he still would not be able to get away with this. But he's been able to get away with this because the House Republicans are complicit. He's been able to get away with this because Senate Republicans are complicit. But most importantly, the courts, especially the Supreme Court, is complicit. And so I think one of the places that we have to start is we are absolutely, they are the highest court in the lands, and they have no ethics guardrails. Now you go down to the lower courts, and they do. How much sense does that make? When we know that they're taking money, we have the paper trail, and they refuse to put guardrails on themselves, so it's time for us to do it for them.
Child, and another thing, okay? That piece of shit, he the reason why my eyelashes going up, okay? I ain't never had to pay. These was $1.99, okay? Before this president got in office, before him and these racist white folks took over, okay? I was paying $1.99 for these. I don't even want to put them on, okay? I gotta say these because now they done went up to $2. They done went up a penny under this president. A penny. It ain't the immigrants that they be talking about.
Immigrants?
It's the president. These went up because of Donald Trump. That piece of shit, not because of the immigrants, okay? So, I mean, like, child, baby, if these white folks ain't gonna do nothing, I'm gonna have to step up and do everything. The Supreme Court in the Republic, they are complicit. And these eyelashes going up. They complicit. Because of the size, they large, so they gotta go up a penny, okay? So I'm just saying, child, I'm not finna sit back and let these white folks take over and remove me from office and all of that. It ain't happening. Thank you.
Terrence K. Williams, man, he doesn't even need to write the jokes. At this point, I mean, Crockett, she writes them for him. I mean, your political style is that easy to impersonate. It's because you've turned public service into a performance art show. That's all we get from them is theatrics. Y'all see it all the time, every single day, every time they on a screen, honestly. You're no longer arguing policy. You're auditioning for late night comedy with these people. And when the performance stops being funny, it just becomes embarrassing.
Guys, a sign that the Democratic Party is slowly dying is who they put as their face. And right now, the face of the Democratic Party, unfortunately for them, is Jasmine Crockett. Guys, Jasmine Crockett is not stupid or ignorant. Her behavior is by design. She is too fine to be so asinine. It's an act, guys. She's engaged in political theater. It's right out of the Saul Alinsky handbook, where he tells people to be insufferable and be completely annoying. Her job, and she said it in so many words, she's not there to pass any legislation right now. Her job is to screw with the president. That's it. That's all. Jasmine Crockett's role right now is to pander to an emotionally hijacked and angry, disinformed base to keep them in the fold. She wants to keep them angry with her behavior. I promise you, when she's putting that phone up to her face in that extreme close-up and those eyelashes are batting and she's rolling her eyes and her mouth is moving all weird and she's boo-boo, baby, and she's cursing, that's all an act. That's not real. And the best way to deal with someone like that is to ignore them. You want to shut down on Jasmine Crockett? Just stop sharing her because she wants the smoke. She wants the negative comments for two reasons. If she loses her job, she's probably guaranteed a spot on that godforsaken show called The View, MSNBC, or CNN. Okay? If she keeps her spot, her job is to keep her base angry enough not to leave the fold and look at other options. That's who Jasmine Crockett is. It's by design. She's not stupid. It's on purpose. Her buffoonery is being done on purpose. Ignore her. That's how you deal with it. And if that's all the Democratic Party has to offer, you guys are in trouble. You're letting this young lady lead you guys into a ditch. All right? Just letting you know, I've seen this show before. I know exactly who she is. I deal with people like this all the time.
Deion Joseph.
Ignore her.
He just calls Crockett the ultimate sign Democrats are falling apart. I have to 100% agree. I mean, when you got the loudest person that represents your party out here being the least disciplined, and that's me being nice, your message just becomes chaos. America doesn't need politicians addicted to attention. We need leaders addicted to results. So here's the bottom line, team thing. What we just saw isn't political strategy. It's probably best described as political survival, if you will. Arrest warrants, backroom hiding spots, race baiting speeches, these map schemes. None of it is about serving you. It seems like it's about maintaining power by any means necessary. And the longer we pretend this isn't just politics as usual, the closer we get to losing, a system where your voice matters. If you haven't already, make sure y'all follow me on these platforms, X and Rumble, where we can't water down the truth. And Team Think, what's happening? 4X Club, I see y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. Let me go ahead and give y'all some shout out. Y'all know the shout outs coming now. Come on, quit playing with me. Quit playing. William Mitchell, 1952. Dan, 07C5B. 123 Stepper. Trace Yo Brian. Trace Yo Brian. Charles Abernathy, U6R, and then Night Moth. I really truly appreciate y'all for making the channel everything that it is. Y'all be safe. Go check on somebody today. You can quite literally be saving a life. Peace.